Okay, hi everybody. It's March 5th, 2011, and yesterday I went to a meeting of the Sacramento Vegan Society, and I listened to a talk by a guy named John Robbins, and I saw a movie called Bold Native, which is a film about liberating animals and about being vegan and, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I liked the movie. It was pretty good, but I'm the choir, so it doesn't really count. But I could see showing that film to people who aren't vegetarians or vegans, and I could see them understanding how animals were treated, the ones that we eat, how they're treated, if you're going to eat their meat. So I agree with that part, but I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the scene I didn't like was when the guy was talking to his dad and talking about his feelings and how they felt about each other, and he said all these mean things to his dad, and I just thought, oh, can't you see he loves you? That's why he's there. Anyway, so I just wanted something. I wanted a little bit more. I guess I wanted a little bit more love between the humans, and. What else? That's it. But other than that, I would recommend it. So I give it 3 stars. 3 stars for Bold Native. Except for that one scene, which oh. So anyway, the guy that the film was inspired by, I believe, is John Robbins. And he gave a talk about his book, I think it's the New Revolutionary Life or New Revolutionary Diet or something like that. I didn't look at it because I came and I just wanted to see what was it all about, because I didn't know who the guy John Robbins was before I went to the talk last night. And that's what you're going to see. So everybody have a great day.
That's what I usually teach, and that's when I'm usually up front of a crowd, I'm teaching Zumba. And so we're all going to go single, double. No. So my name is Linda, and I'm one of the organizers. I'm one of the organizers for 4 different vegan groups. And this one is the Sacramento Vegan Society. I'm so excited because so many people want to know, for the first time in their lives maybe, how to live cruelty-free and with compassion. It is just a marvelous feeling once you get there. I know a lot of people aren't there quite yet. And we have the most spectacular evening planned. It's just amazing. We have the famous John Robbins, famous author. And we have the brilliant movie, Bold Native, and the 2 producers are Dennis and the film producer, and Casey Suhan also.
Hi, I'm one of the producers of Bold Native. Dennis is our director, and we're so thrilled and grateful to be here tonight to share this film with all of you and to hear John Robbins inspiring, as always, speak to us before the film. So this is very exciting. We want to thank Linda and Dave and all the volunteers here. And also, looking out at you, it's such an awesome audience. We really want to thank you all for coming out here and having open hearts and open minds. And you make a film, and we worked on this film for 10 years, and these are the moments that you do this for, when you can share it with a room of people and start a discussion, and hopefully it spreads out of this room. And that's not just the movie, that's the words that we hear from people like Linda and people like John Robbins. So thank you all for being here.
I want to echo that. Thank you all for coming. My name is Dennis, and I want to say a few things about the film. Some of you may just be here to hear John speak, and that's fine. We won't be offended if you leave after John, but we would love for you to stay for the film if you're interested. The film is not rated. It's an independent film, but if it were rated, it would definitely not be PG or PG-13. It would probably be an R-rated film. It does contain nudity, it contains obscenity.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you for coming out here. Thank you for being here. And are you in your body? I just wasn't, so I'm wondering if you are. I'm just getting here. Hi. She raised her hand. Yeah. When you feel that aliveness in you, what happens is you understand that you're part of this living web. This entire earth community is alive. And then you feel this reciprocity, this kinship with everything that is alive. You may not love animals, but you sense that they are part of us. I don't actually think you have to love animals to feel the human requirement that we treat them decently. That we hold ourselves accountable and responsible for the way that we are with the rest of life. She wanted me to answer some questions, and then she wanted to ask one. And it was a really easy one. She said, how did you give up the Baskin Robbins empire and why? She said, well, that's a really easy one to answer. No, I'm teasing. It's not. It's a whole life experience for me. But in case you don't know, my dad and my uncle were the founders, co-owners of Baskin Robbins, the flavors. And as a child, I was groomed to succeed my father. It was expected in my family that I would one day follow in his footsteps. And I was an only son. I had sisters, but no brothers. And in his world, women shouldn't work, I guess. I mean, it's just the old patriarchal thing. And so it was all his expectations, the full weight of it was on me. And I loved it. I love the ice cream. I grew up eating tons of it. I invented Jamocha almond fudge. For a while I thought that would be on my tombstone. I did. We had an ice cream cone-shaped swimming pool in our backyard. We had a freezer with all the flavors of the month and the experimental flavors and everything. You know, I grew up sick and strange. You would be too if you ate ice cream for breakfast, which I did. I mean, it was amazing. And there was not a lot of health in my family. My uncle, Bert Baskin, my dad's partner and brother-in-law, died of a heart attack at the age of 54. He was a very big man. He ate a lot of ice cream. And when he died, I asked my dad, do you think there could be a connection to the amount of ice cream that he would eat, which was prodigious, and his fatal heart attack? Do you think there could be a connection? And my father just looked at me, and his commitment to denial was implacable. You know, the message was, don't ever ask that question again. What he said was, no, absolutely not. His ticker just got tired and stopped working. But the underlying message was, shut up and go to your room. You know, don't talk about that. Don't ever mention that. The taboo. See, every family has, Bradshaw called it a no-talk rules, the elephant in the living room that isn't discussed. Everyone, most families have that. In our family, that had to do with ice cream and health. And I could understand why my father would not want to think about that. Because he had, by that time, manufactured and sold more ice cream than any human being that ever lived on this planet. Baskin Robbins had already become the world's largest ice cream company. It was already a billion-dollar company. He did not want to think that this product was harming anybody, much less that it could have contributed to the death of his beloved partner and brother-in-law, my uncle. He couldn't consider that possibility. But maybe because he couldn't, and my nature being just the rebel that I am, I decided I would. I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to ask, really, is there a connection? And the truth is, in those days, not that much was known. But over the years, as the data has come in from medical research and studies, it's incontrovertible. The more ice cream you eat, the more likely you are to have a heart attack, to become diabetic like my father did, to become overweight, like just about everybody in my family was, and many still are. It's not a health food. I'm not saying an ice cream cone is going to kill anybody or hurt anybody, but the more you eat, the more likely you are to have some of these illnesses. And if I was going to follow in my dad's footsteps, then my job would have been implicit in my job to want people to eat as much as possible. That's what the marketing's all about. I didn't want to be part of undermining anybody's health. And I was starting to suspect that Baskin Robbins, despite the advertising slogans, didn't make people happy. That was the slogan that back then. We make people happy. It was in all the radio jingles, TV ads, billboards. I said to my dad once, I don't think so. We sell a product that provides momentary pleasure. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, well, momentary pleasure, is not happiness. Human happiness is a bigger thing than that. He said, what are you, a philosopher? It's an advertising slogan. Which it was. But I didn't want to be part of it. I didn't want to be part of it for many reasons. There was, in those days, behind the counter of every store, these very beautiful sepia-toned photographs, murals, large pictures of Guernsey and Holstein, if you remember the Guernseys, dairy cows growing, they were grazing in beautiful Wisconsin pasture lands. Lovely images that brought feelings, evoked feelings of closeness to nature. And but Baskin Robbins was centered in Burbank at that time. That was the national headquarters, and we lived in that vicinity. And most of the milk came from the Central Valley, dairies in the Central Valley. And they're in dry feedlots. Those cows never see a blade of grass in their lives. Today, the Milk Producers Association of California has a national advertising campaign. Happy cows. Seen it? Yeah, great cheese comes from happy cows. Happy cows come from California. And they have the pictures somewhat like what we used to have at the Baskin Robbins behind the store of these cows grazing in beautiful grasslands. Those pictures were taken, by the way, in New Zealand. Yeah. The Milk Producers Association of California actually went to New Zealand to get pictures like that. There's a real disconnect in this. Happy cows. Happy chickens. Have you seen those ads? I joined with Peter in suing the California Milk Producers Association